What's up, everybody? My name is Three Tokes and I'm back with my second video. What? Yes. So in this video we are going to bring it back to straight basics about cannabis. We're going to be talking about ways cannabis affects your body when you ingest it, either via smoking, vaporizing, topically, the way it reacts with your endocannabinoid system within your body and your brain. So there's different ways to medicate for certain medical conditions, and focusing on the components within cannabis and how it affects your body is going to be the best way to medicate for yourself. So pay attention, repeat the video if you need to, but we're going to learn how to medicate for our own medical conditions. Let's check it out. So what exactly is your endocannabinoid system? Look, what is that? Well, the endocannabinoid system was discovered not too long ago. It was actually discovered because of cannabis, and that's why it was named after it. Your endocannabinoid system is a giant pathwork of sensors throughout your body, all throughout your nervous system and in your brain. It is a series of amino acids that are wrapped around a little cell membrane, and they're all throughout your body. Those little amino acids basically act as sensors that pick up biochemical cues like interactions with cannabinoids from cannabis. So when you smoke, vaporize, use topicals, you're going to sort of create these little interactions between your sensors and the products that you're consuming. So all of these different ways that they're interacting with your endocannabinoid system create mental and physiological reactions. They affect your memory, your motor control, your emotions, things like that. All sorts of different things are done by your endocannabinoid system, not just make you feel stoned. Your endocannabinoid system actually regulates your cells. It can tell your cells how to live its lifespan, which is actually really beneficial for things like fighting cancer, because it can tell a cell to, hey, I think it's time for you to die, and it'll actually cause a cell's life to begin its process in collapsing. So it's amazing what your endocannabinoid system can do and the way cannabis can affect it. So there's a couple different things in cannabis that affect your endocannabinoid system, and we're going to get into that now. That is called cannabinoids and terpenes. Alright, you guys, now we're going to talk about cannabinoids. Cannabinoids are the complex compound found within cannabis that provides another stage of medicinal relief. There are over 70 discovered cannabinoids in cannabis, but I'm only going to talk about 5 or 6 of them. There are quite a few that we find really important. We've done a lot of research on, ones that definitely stand out more than others. The first one I'm going to talk about is TETRAHYDROCANNABINOLIC acid, THCA. That is non-activated THC, so it is non-psychoactive. This is THC before it's been heated. THCA has tons of medicinal relief. It can actually help with inflammation, muscle spasms, and it can even help regulate the lifespan of a cell and whether it should reproduce or not. Another cannabinoid that everyone loves is THC. THC is the psychoactive cannabinoid in cannabis that contributes to the high. It also helps with pain relief and all sorts of mood stabilization and antidepressant. Another cannabinoid we've all heard about is CBD, but there's actually 2 cannabinoids with CBD in it, CBD and CBDA. There is a cannabinolic acid, and that actually helps regulate the communication between your cells and the ones that sell the signals to communicate for your immune system and inflammation. So basically, it connects your cells that regulate whether you create inflammation or if your immune system kicks in or not. CBD helps with all sorts of anti-anxiety, pain relief, inflammation, swelling. CBD really is one of the miracle cannabinoids. Another cannabinoid that is awesome is CBN, and that is cannabidiol. Cannabidiol is a great cannabinoid for sedative and sleep. That actually derives from the degradation of another cannabinoid called THC. What? So when THC starts breaking down, it turns into CBN. So older, kind of aged strains will be higher in CBN, while newer, fresher, or live resins will be lower in CBN. So you won't get as sedative or sleepy effects from it. Lastly, we're going to talk about CBG, or cannabigerol. That is the stem cell cannabinoid, or the mother cannabinoid. Basically, the other cannabinoids derive from CBG. Once an enzyme reaction occurs, it transitions into its other stages of life into THC and CBD. CBG is an awesome cannabinoid. It's a neuroprotectant, a pain reliever, an antidepressant. It also helps slow down cell growth in cancerous cells and bacterial growth. So CBG is absolutely amazing for fighting diseases right now, and a lot more research is going into it. There are a ton of cannabinoids in cannabis, and that is just a small list of some of them. If you guys are interested in those, definitely keep an eye out. I have one more I almost forgot to mention, and that is TETRAHYDROCANNABINOL. TETRAHYDROCANNABINOL, THCV. Whew, bless my heart, it's been a long night. Alright, THCV is a appetite suppressant. You're like, what? Because normally cannabis triggers appetite. Yes, and there is actually science behind that. It reacts with sensors in your body that allow you to smell food better. So food actually seems more appetizing, well, depending on who's cooking. But THCV will help with a appetite suppressant. There are certain strains that are higher in THCV. Strains like Jack the Ripper, Dutch Treat, Skunks, and Durban Poisons are all really high in THCV. There have been 2 strains that have been bred to help with THCV, or that are higher in THCV. One is Doug's Baron and the other is Willie Nelson. So keep an eye out for those if you're trying to suppress that appetite. If you're looking for pain relief and a nice psychoactive effect, check out the other cannabinoids. And now we're going to jump straight into terpenes, and that is another form of medicinal relief you get from cannabis. Alright you guys, now we're going to talk about terpenes. Terpenes are the aromatic compound found within cannabis that provide another stage of relief. Those aromatic compounds are also found in a ton of other things. Fruits, vegetables, anything with a smell has a terpene to it. Certain terpenes have medicinal relief that is more beneficial to you. In cannabis, you have a ton of terpenes, but some of them stand out over others. One of my favorite and the best for anxiety relief, and honestly the answer to tons of your guys' questions, is how do I find strains that are great for anxiety relief? Find strains that have a citrusy profile to them. And that means you're looking for a terpene called limonene. Limonene is an anti-anxiety, antidepressant, and it doesn't overstimulate, which is really nice, because that's the last thing you want is when you're feeling anxious to feel overstimulated. Another terpene that helps with that is called linalool, and that is a lavender smelling terpene. And that tends to be more common among indicas, but has a really nice sedative, mind relaxing component to it. A couple more terpenes that I like. One of them is beta-caryophyllene. I have horrible knees. I've been through knee surgeries. Not happy. I need as much inflammation relief as I can get. So what I look for is a nice hoppy smell to my cannabis. And that hoppy smell means it's a terpene called beta-caryophyllene. And that aids in inflammation and swelling. Another terpene that is awesome, and one that I definitely need more in my life, is pinene. And pinene aids in memory. Yeah, I think my short-term memory could definitely use some help. It also helps with focus and alertness, but you have to be careful because you can create something called the entourage effect, which is when you mix all these awesome terpenes with all these awesome cannabinoids and you get like a crossfade. So if you try to smoke some strains that are high in a pinene terpene, but you also choose strains that are high in CBN, which is the sedative cannabinoid, you're going to sort of balance yourself out. So keep an eye on what you're ingesting and how it makes you feel. That way you can pinpoint the right strains for you later on down the line. You guys, I hope you had some fun with me today. I hope you learned about terpenes. I hope you guys hit the subscribe button. I hope you leave a comment down below. I'm going to be answering some of the questions with text responses from your last videos coming up right here when I smoke this joint with you guys in just a moment. And yeah, stay high, stay productive, and keep all the good cannabis lovin' flowing, because the world needs it. We need to stay educated and informed. Even if we're not using cannabis ourselves, the best thing we can do is be informed and not ignorant about it, because it helps people. And let's just let people medicate, you know? All right, you guys, stay high, stay productive, and most importantly, don't sweat the petty things. Pet the sweaty things. And I'll see you later.